All right, I think we are live. Welcome to the first stream for Trust the Buzz. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat if you're in there. I think I have everything working. You're in there. I think I have feedback. Let me get rid of that. I do not want to hear myself. Did that work? All right, give me a second as I figure out why I can hear myself. Because I do not like hearing myself. Huh. I can't find it. I know it's a setting that I messed up. I guarantee you that's probably what it is. Okay, well, either way, we are here. We are live. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I'm gonna take these AirPods because I can hear myself. But if you, for whatever reason, can't hear me, just let me know in the chat. Let me know if you can't hear me. But today we're going to be going over game by game the Charlotte Hornets' entire schedule. We'll be taking everything in consideration, and we'll be trying to figure out if the Charlotte Hornets can make the playoffs. We will basically be just saying, hey, will we win this game, lose this game? Just because I say the Charlotte Hornets may lose a game doesn't mean I think that team is better. Or even if they win a game, it may not be because it's better. We're going to evaluate, how is that? How many games is that on the road? Is there part of a road trip? Just all these things. We're going to try to take all kinds of different factors that go into a season and apply it. So, hey, sit back, get a drink. I already have one. Moscow Mule. I don't know if I could. There we go. Moscow Mule, one of my favorites. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. But first, before we get into the actual schedule part, I think we should go over the team. Right? We should go over the team. So we'll just show the roster. That's what I'm trying to get to. It doesn't have the numbers, so we'll just read it off. But I'll do it alphabetically. So Amari Bailey, that's a two-way. But LaMelo Ball, of course, star point guard for our team. James Bouknight, we have no idea what his season's going to look like for us this year. Miles Bridges, he will be missing the first 10 games, so we'll take that in consideration. But with Miles missing the first 10 games, oh, I actually have comments. Okay. I promise y'all, I am just now seeing y'all's comments, so I appreciate it. I'm just now learning how to work all this stuff. I was looking at the wrong chat. Bet. So can y'all hear me? Put something in the chat if you can hear me. Because I am just now able to see your chats. We got Doughboy Jr. in here. We got Bobo the Barber in here. Okay, everybody can hear me? Bet. Everything but City. Thank you all for joining. Okay, say less. All right, so I'm gonna just keep going. I just now was able to see the chat, so now I gotta make sure I keep an eye out for that. Thank you everybody for joining. But Miles Bridges, he's gonna miss the first 10 games. We will take that in consideration. Gordon Hayward, we have no idea. Last year was a down year for him, even though I think that was probably one of his healthier years, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check that out real quick. I think that was one of his healthier years in Charlotte. Am I wrong? Yeah, he played 50 games. So yeah, one more than he did the previous year. That was by one game. That was his healthiest season. So of course that would be the season he don't play the best, but 50 games still not enough. We will take in Gordon Hayward missing games in consideration. Kai Jones, we don't even know what kind of minutes he's going to get. I don't think that has an impact on the Charlotte Hornets as far as win loss. Cody Martin, I think that is an underrated. Uh, Benjito, what's up? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, Cody Martin, I think is going to be that's something that's underrated. I know some people don't like him, but as far as considering we don't have a true backup point guard, because even Frank Ntilikina is not a true backup point guard. Cody Martin is a decent playmaker and one of our better on-ball defenders. So you add that with Frank Ntilikina, that's kind of what we have there as far as perimeter defense after losing Dennis Smith Jr. I think Cody Martin's going to be a very underrated I wouldn't say advantage, but an underrated factor into how good this team can be on certain nights. Bryce McGowan, I hope he gets minutes. Does his play affect the team as far as win loss? I wouldn't say so. I definitely say if he plays well, the win, it will definitely help wins. I don't think if he plays bad, we can go back and look. Oh, we lost that game because of Bryce. I don't think we're going to be able to say that. Um, let's see what else. Okay, Doughboy Jr. says Gordon Hayward should be traded for a late first. Yeah, we'll probably get like seconds if we do try to trade him. He's an not expanding, but expiring contract. So I believe we'll see. I don't. I think the Hornets might just keep him. I don't know if teams are going to be willing to give up that second when there's probably other players, but we'll see. I definitely wouldn't be opposed to it. And then everything but City says 45 and 37 was his first projection after the schedule was released. That is a pretty good one. That's kind of where I'm leaning. I know, like on this roster list for Basketball Reference, it doesn't even have PJ on here, but we're going to count as if PJ's here because I think at worst, that's probably what would happen if PJ gets traded. Then you could probably take off 2 to 3 games, maybe four games as far as wins, and that would still put us at 39 and 41 based on what you have at 45 and 37. No, if you take off 4 games, that'll be 41 and 30. What is that? 30. What's the math on that? 41. Yeah, it'll be 41 and 41. So not too bad. I mean, at 500, but I'm just going to say PJ is going to be there. Brandon Miller. I think Brandon Miller is going to have a big impact on the Charlotte Hornets either way. I'm not saying he's going to come in and average 20. I'm not going to say he's going to come in and average 5. What I'm saying is he is going to have an impact on some games. If he plays well, I think that would overall help the team play better. If he doesn't play well, then of course, that would be an indicator that the team is not going to have a good game. I think that he's just going to be an underrated part as well. I'm hoping that a rookie just doesn't have that much impact, but considering what our bench looks like, if he's with the starters, it may be a little different, but as of right now, I think he's coming off the bench just because that's just what the Hornets do. I don't know why they do it, but that's just what they do. If he comes off the bench, I think that what he does on the floor is going to have a bigger impact as far as whether we win or lose, but I still don't want to look at a game and say we won or lost because of Brandon Miller. Because as a rookie, that weight shouldn't fall on his shoulders. So, yeah, I think we should get rid of Rozier too. I want to say that real quick. I know we really haven't even gotten to the actual schedule, but I want to move off Rozier. And I know some people say, Terry's not that bad. And I agree. He's not that bad. I think he just doesn't fit the team. And that's the front office problem. You decided to bring in Terry Rozier knowing LaMelo Ball. Well, you decided to extend Terry Rozier knowing LaMelo Ball was going to be your star point guard, your point guard for the future. And it just didn't make any sense. You have an undersized guard who really can't guard up. And then you have him guarding up all the time. So it makes his defense look even worse than what it is. I just think that the smart thing to do would be get rid of Terry Rozier. But once again, it's not because he's bad. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded, he goes to wherever his new team is and balls out. I think it just doesn't fit for what we're trying to do for sure. And yeah, Benjito, I think that Theo, dang, it's been so long since basketball season. I haven't really said his name that much. But yes, Maladon should definitely be the backup point guard based on what we have today. Let's see. Yeah, Mark Williams, definitely a sleeper for how good he is on defense. Rivers has a movable contract. I gotta get Rozier. Yes, for sure. Terry Rozier was that 43 and 39 season. He was a very valuable player. I think he was like Mr. Clutch, if I remember correctly, just watching the games. I don't know what the stat says on that because I think that year we lost like a bunch of overtime games. But as far as just remembering watching those games, Terry Rozier hit a lot of game winners, go ahead buckets, tie game. Like he did a lot of that. So yeah, Terry Rozier would definitely have a spot in my heart even when he goes. Same with Kelly Oubre. I know Kelly Oubre is very polarizing, but some of my favorite moments over the last couple of years have Kelly Oubre in them. So I can't deny the fact, even if he, probably more than likely he's not coming back. And yeah, Mark Williams, defensive team for sure. Definitely a sleeper. I would like to see what it looks like him starting the whole year. I don't know if he'll I don't know. I don't know what his numbers will look like. I hope they're pretty good. I mean, you walk away with 10. Well, I'll say like 12 to 14, around 9 to 10 rebounds. You give me a block and a half. I'm happy with that. Now, where does that put you as far as defensive team? I have no idea, but Yeah, I would say Cody Martin as a talent doesn't move the needle either way. I think more so what he provides to the team because we don't have what he does outside of him. And then we're hoping to, with Brandon Miller, we can add to that. Frank Ntilikina, we can add to that to some, on ball defenders. But yeah, as an overall player, no, Cody Martin doesn't necessarily move the needle. But for what he does, considering no one else really does it, I think that's where it gets important as far as just how important he is himself. What was that? Oh yeah, Brandon Miller. Now we're at Frank Ntilikina. I don't think he was going to have that much of an impact. If he does bad, he just does bad. I don't think that you can look at that and be like, "Oh, that's the reason we lost this game." He can be. I think he can be the reason we maybe win a couple games if he does make it past, of course, training camp because of his own ball defending. We saw that was that 2 years ago when the Dallas Mavericks were playing the Phoenix Suns. He actually did a good job on whoever had the ball for the Suns, whether it was Chris Paul, Devin Booker. He did a pretty good job on them. So I'm not expecting that night in and night out. However, I don't think he could really negatively impact the team essentially because the way he plays, he doesn't do anything that's gonna lose you the game. It's not like it's a turnover machine. It's not like he jacks up shot. You know what I mean? So if anything, he can only help the team, and that's why I felt like it was a pretty decent signing. I don't think there's anything he can do outside of what he is unable to do, like be a better playmaker. Of course, that could technically lead to the team losing some games, but overall, what he actually does on the court, his actions, I don't think it could lead to us losing because he doesn't do anything to really impact the game that much as far as just ruining it. Nick Richards, I think he's going to be a big part. We need that secondary bench unit, and we need him to be able to kind of be the head of that almost, especially when it comes to rebounding, because outside of him, and then I'm assuming we can maybe throw in JT Thor, or actually PJ would probably come off the bench. I don't know. I don't know. Do we have to get into that whether PJ starts or not? I'm not sure. I think. Oh, let's see. Everything but C. Do you think JT Thor gets an extension? And if not, does that open up opportunity for Kai Jones as the backup four? I think Kai is best at the five. Um, does the team think that? I think so. I think this summer league was kind of an indicator that maybe Kai Jones is probably best at the five. JT Thor, I do feel like he will get an extension. However, just because of the fact that he didn't play summer league, and it seemed like he wanted to from a tweet he had, and he doesn't tweet often. I think it was like his last tweet. He was basically saying he just wished he was out there or wish he was playing basketball, something along those lines. So I feel as though with him not playing, that was a sign that hey, we think this guy has done enough. I think he does get an extension. And then if PJ's gone, I think that even shoots him up the trajectory of getting an extension. We should trade for more veteran talent. I do believe we should trade for more veteran talent. Gordon Hayward to me is good enough. It's just the money, of course, always is a factor on that. No, he's not worth the money, but like as a basketball player, he's good enough. But two, he doesn't stay healthy, so that's a big problem. I should have got some water. Uh, don't you wish you guys had who? Oh, Caleb Martin. Yeah, guys had Martin. He came to Miami and blossomed. Yeah, I think that I don't know. I don't think he would have did that in Charlotte. Uh, I don't think he would have did that in Charlotte, Louis. I think he's good. I think Caleb Martin's good. I've always said Caleb Martin was like the offensive weapon. And for the Miami Heat, considering that was a team that they have defense down pat, they really just need offense. I think that's why he did so well. He didn't have to really worry about kind of being a two-way. He can really focus, one spot of his game, and I think that helped him out. Will he do that, what he did during the playoffs, during the regular season? Some nights, I don't think you can expect that as an average, but I think definitely he will have a big impact for the Miami Heat and be a key player for them. Yeah, the Heat are looking good. However, they're old, so I wouldn't say they're old necessarily, but they just I don't know. We saw their limitations when it came to them playing the Celtics and then playing the Nuggets. Now, in relation to us, yes, they're probably better just because you would have the best player in Jimmy Butler between the two teams, and then and then Melo and then Bam and then Lowry and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think it's going to be because we give the Heat a run for their money sometimes. I think we have a chance. Caleb Martin would have. Yeah, I don't think Caleb Martin would have developed in Charlotte. I don't. Not to say he's bad or whatever. It just I don't think he really would have just got the chance. And is that on Charlotte? Maybe I don't know, but yeah, he just wouldn't have got the chance. I'm gonna just go ahead and wrap this up, so that we can go ahead and move on to the actual schedule. Yeah, Nick Richards, I think going to be a huge part. We need that rebounding. I don't. JT Thor's not like this worldly rebounder. Especially if you look at it, Nick Richards is one of the better offensive rebounders in the league. So I think that's going to play a big part for this team as a whole, because we know as of right now, the team isn't that great at shooting. So getting those offensive boards, getting those second chance points, Nick Richards does that very well. Not saying Mark Williams doesn't, but Nick Richards, like, statistically is one of the better offensive rebounders in the league. So I think that's going to allow us to get more open looks, believe it or not. Terry Rozier, as I said, and as a lot of you have mentioned already, I don't think he's gone. I think they really want to see if this can make it. This is your best chance. You've added a good center. You've added a number 2 overall pick. I think they finally want to see, okay, what do we actually have? Because it's been up and down over the last couple of years trying to figure out what this team has, this core has. I think they're probably going to hold on to Terry one more year, and yeah, we'll see. But he's going to be a big part. He's going to be a big part. If he can go back to Terry 2 years ago, where he's able to move off ball and not have to handle the ball so much, I think that he's going to have a much better season. I think it was kind of obvious with him that the reason he was chucking up so many shots is just because the team really had nowhere else to go without LaMelo Ball. But we saw what he plays like with LaMelo, and it's completely different. I think it's completely different. So I don't know what Kobe Simmons is. Kobe Simmons has literally no impact on the team whatsoever. Nick Smith Jr., I would like to say he will have an impact, but I just can't be positive of that. I wouldn't say the whole season he's going to have an impact, but I think there's going to be games here and there where he can win or lose you the game. If he's not hitting, then he can lose you a game for whatever reason if he's getting that many shots up. But if he's hitting, he can win you a game. If for whatever reason we no one on our bench is hitting any shots and we have Nick Smith Jr., we bring him up and he plays well, he can win you a game. So I think that's what you're really looking for. You're not really looking for him to do anything else. He can shoot you out a game, but with Steve Clifford, I don't think Steve Clifford's going to even let it get to that point. So I don't think Nick Smith Jr. is going to have that much of an impact. JT Thor, I think, is going to be huge. I think JT Thor is going to be huge for the team because of the fact that as of right now, we'll just say we have PJ, but JT Thor is going to be that guy. If he can hit a corner shot, a corner 3, I think that will take his game to the next level. I mentioned it in a video I did like a while back. But JT Thor hitting a corner shot, that's going to open up his game. I'm really not even worried about him putting the ball on the floor. Continue to be the defensive threat that you are, because I think he does very well at guarding the post, does very well at guarding the ball handler, does very well just on the perimeter guarding off ball. Continue doing that, hit a corner shot. I am A-okay with JT Thor for right now. He was born in 2002, so I'm just not concerned. He's literally about to turn 21. I'm just not concerned as far as can he put the ball on the floor? No, not as of right now. Hit a corner shot, continue playing defense. And Mark Williams, as someone mentioned earlier, Mark Williams is probably going to be a threat defensively. Hopefully he can get some defensive team. Just hopefully people are thinking about him for defensive team. I don't care which one it is. But I don't know. I don't know what his stat line will look like, but as long as it's like anywhere between 12 to 14 points, 10, 9 to 10 rebounds, like I said earlier, 1.5 blocks, I'm perfectly fine with what we got from Mark Williams if you can provide that, which it does seem like he will. So I'm very excited. So that's the team. And then PJ, of course, we know what PJ does. I think he's just a very versatile defender. I think he's a very versatile offensive player as well. I think his defense is better than his offense. I'm not looking to go to PJ when it comes to offense, but he's one of those guys that can get hot. He can also, since we're talking about this, can lose you a game. If PJ's not getting rebounds, if he's not playing defense, and if he's not scoring, there's not much else he can do. I'm not looking at him dropping 18 points to win a game. I just need you to play defense and just hit your shots, hit your threes. If you do that, I think we'll be good. Good to go. All right, so now we're going to move on to the schedule, as the first game is against the Atlanta Hawks. Of course, I had a cough. All right. So let's look at the comments before we get into that. It says Caleb probably wouldn't have developed. Yeah, I said that. Mark Williams that near 2020 game against Bam. Yes, when Mark Williams had a 2020 game against Bam, one of my good friends is a Miami Heat fan. Like, been a Miami Heat fan before LeBron. Like, he's been a Miami Heat fan. I'll probably bring him on to the channel because I think it'll be cool. Because one of my good friends is a Hawks fan. One of my good friends is a Heat fan. I think that'll be good for the channel to have them come on here and just kind of give their outside opinion on Charlotte, but as well as the division. I think it would just be a cool video. So I will be probably doing that. But yes, I talked so much junk to him when Mark Williams put up almost a 2020 game on Bam. I was like, because he's a very big Bam believer. And I was like, hey, I don't know why you believe in Bam. Well, Mark Williams shut him down essentially. Mark Williams was like a way better player, and that was always fun. Melo's to play. Yes, if Melo plays anything under 65, I would say 60. If Melo plays anything under 60 games, I don't care if it's 59, the team won't be competitive. Won't be competitive enough. Because if you're telling me Miles Bridges misses 10 and LaMelo plays 59 games, that's not good. And then not counting anything that may happen outside of Miles Bridges' suspension as far as him missing games, like injuries or anything like that. No, Nick Smith Jr. should have the Mark Williams treatment half of the year, and Greensboro another half roster if it goes well. Yeah, I think for someone like Nick Smith Jr., and I think I had a video talking about that actually. I think Nick Smith Jr. in the G League will probably do better than what we've seen from James Bouknight in the G League. I think Nick Smith Jr. seems like one of those guys who will benefit from playing in the G League, getting those reps. But in the G League, they're gonna be like, "Hey, do your thing." And I think that's what kind of player he is. At Arkansas, as good as he was at times, I think he did struggle because Anthony Black kind of was recruited to be like an off-ball player, and Nick Smith Jr. was going to be pure point guard. Well, not necessarily playing like a pure point guard, but he was just going to be point guard. And considering he was dealing with injury, Anthony Black just took off, and he was amazing. And at that point, you couldn't take the ball out of his hand. It wouldn't have been smart just because Nick Smith Jr. is back. You give the ball, you give the ball back to him. No, give it with the hot hand. Anthony Black was basically doing everything out there, and I think that messed Nick up a little bit, just because that's not kind of his game. Even though he does play very well off ball, and I think he got better throughout last year when he was not injured. But playing in the G League where you're the guy, do what you do. These games don't really necessarily matter. I think he can kind of find his groove a little bit. And then, like you said, come on to the next half of the season and play pretty well. I was saying rather have Siakam over Harden just because as the two play great, can rebound, play better defense. Yeah, I think Siakam will probably be a better fit. But if you're looking for like overall talent, I will take Harden. But for sure, I think Pascal Siakam will be a better fit for the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. I'm not trying to. I'm assuming you're talking about Siakam on the Hornets. But yeah, I don't know if that's what you're referring to. But if you are, Siakam on the Hornets, I think would just be a better fit overall. He does play. He does. I mean, he's like a better PJ, much better PJ. I think PJ's a pretty good player. So you get a much better PJ on this team. I think that we definitely are in the easily 52 to 53 win range. If that's how you feel, you need a better player. What's up, Carolina Cast? Louis, what packages do you think Hey would get? No way you're getting. Yeah, you're not getting. If you're trading. Hold on. Oh, he's talking about for Miami. I don't care what Miami gets. I hope Miami suffers. Nah. I don't know. I wouldn't want Miami to get Pascal Siakam or James Harden. But I think for Miami, I think James Harden would be the better fit, honestly. Because we see that Jimmy gets tired. I mean, he's older. There's not really much anybody else on the team can do that's like him. I think Harden would probably be the better fit. Bam, let me know if I'm wrong, but Bam to me doesn't seem like a center, and I know we need to talk about the Hornets, but just Bam needs to be more of a power forward in the center, I think, and that would help Miami. But I don't want to help Miami, so there's that. Yes, everything Buzz City. We're winning the season series versus Miami. Book it. All right, let's go ahead and get in here because I've already been talking for 24 minutes, and I'm pretty sure y'all are tired of hearing my voice. So we're going to get into what you actually want to talk about, and that is the schedule. So the first game, October 25th, Atlanta Hawks. This game is interesting because the Hawks are a team who, on paper, you look at the coaching staff, you look at the players, I think they're overall better. they don't feel like they're better. This is a game that we could win. Um, it's a home game, opening game. I'm trying to think. We're missing Miles at this point, and like I said, we're going to assume we have PJ. We've done it before. We were beating them last year, and I don't want to spend too much time on the first game of the season, especially a team we played 4 times. I'll say we win. I'll say we win this game. I'll say it'll be close, but I'll say we'll win the game. I think that Trae Young, he started off rough last year, if I'm not mistaken, and then he slowly got better throughout the season. I think he's going to have another rough start this season, just because it does sound like he's buying into defense a little more. So trying to incorporate that with what you already do and still being good, I think that would be tough for him. I'm not saying he can't do it. I think Trae Young's a good player, but first game of the season, I think you put him in pick and roll, let him suffer. I'll say we win this game. I'll say we win this game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this. I don't know if y'all can see it. I don't know. Hold on. Because it's supposed to be a little bigger than that so y'all can see. Okay, yeah, this is just a spreadsheet. If you're not new to the channel, you know I love spreadsheets. This is just so I can keep track of who I have winning. So we want, that's not what I wanted. So I think I have it for W. I'll put W. Yeah, and it turns green. That's what it's supposed to do. Let me fix this. It's bothering me. There we go. All right. So first game against the Hawks, we win. I think we can win that. Detroit, I don't even have to look. Do we even have to talk about it? I think we win that game. Detroit, I think is a deeper team than us. Let me know if I'm crazy. I think Detroit maybe, I say deeper. I'm not saying that. They just have a lot of talent. Now, is that talent all consistent? No. Is that talent that other teams would probably want on their team? Probably not. But I do feel as though they have a lot of players who we've seen at the NBA level get hot and do well at times. That is what I mean by Detroit may be deeper. But overall, if you're looking at like the top, I think our top players are better. In saying that, I'll say we win this one too as well. So we'll just put Pistons and then put W. All right, Nets, I already have it preconceived in my head. I don't think we're going to win this game against the Nets. I don't. I know it's a home game. I know the Nets don't have KD and Kyrie, of course. To be honest, this is a team I think we're better than. I just think winning the two back-to-back, then playing Brooklyn before you go on the road to Houston, that's kind of where like I think the schedule plays a part in this, and it's not like an isolated incident. So I'm gonna go. We lose this game. I know it sounds crazy. I know some people are not big Nets believers because I think the media is like, oh, the Nets can still be pretty good. And I think they'll be decent. They got talent. It's just I don't think they're that good. But I do have them beating us just because we have to go on the road. Speaking of going on the road, playing the Rockets. I think the Rockets are going to have one of the hottest starts in the NBA. They're a young team with 2 guys who kind of feed off energy. I think they're going to be like, oh, we got something to prove, this, that, and the other. So I think they're going to come out swinging. And teams are not going to be expecting that. That's how I feel about the Houston Rockets. What do I project them as far as the season? I think they're just barely missed the play-in. They have players, but can they be cohesive? I don't know. We'll see. Because it's not like Fred VanVleet is the world's greatest point guard. It's not, his shooting percentages aren't all that. In fact, let's look up Fred VanVleet's shooting percentage. Let's look up his shooting percentage because I know they're not that good. Fred VanVleet. Let's see. Yeah, 39% from the field, 34% from 3. It's not like he's the world's best shooter, best point guard, whatever you want to call it, but. He is a veteran at the end of the day. They needed veteran leadership. They have talent. They got Dylan Brooks, who is a veteran technically, and I know that. Yeah, the Rockets are going to be good. I think the Rockets are going to be pretty good, but I just think they just might miss the play-in. But once again, saying all that, I think we lose this game. I know it's crazy. I know that the Rockets fans will be unbearable if the Rockets win. It's just we're coming off a game. I think this is what. How many days does October have? 31, 30? I don't know. Either way, it's the beginning of a road trip, and I think the Hornets are more focused on this Pacers game. I think they're going to be more focused on this Pacers game. Once again, Miles isn't here. I think that just all kind of plays a factor. Once again, I just think it's the schedule. I'm not really saying it's the Rockets themselves, but I think they're just going to be so high at the beginning. We're focused on the Pacers. I think they're going to catch us. But I wouldn't be surprised if we win. Talent wise, I think we should win. But as far as just the schedule and all the surrounding things around this game, I think they'll take it. Um, the Pacers, like I said, the big game. We're gonna be. This is the game I think the Hornets are gonna be focused on. Because the whole LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Halliburton, Pacers in general, knocking us out by a lot. They blew us out in the play-in. We've always had beef with them since. I think that this is going to be a big game, and I think that it's going to go down to the wire. But I think we're going to edge it out. I think this game is going to mean the world to the team, and I think that we're going to. I think Tyrese Halliburton is going to have a great game. LaMelo Ball is going to have an even better game. I see Brandon Miller showing up in this game as well because I don't, at the top of my head, I don't think the Pacers really have anybody that can confidently guard Brandon Miller's kind of archetype. Brandon Miller's still a rookie. What, at this point he would be 5 games in, 4 games in, 5 games in. So yeah, I'm not. I don't know. But as far as just like what type of player Brandon Miller is, and comparing it to what I think the Pacers have, I just don't. I don't think they have someone that easily matches up. So if Brandon Miller could take advantage of that, I think that'll be a big game for him. Let's see. And now the Dallas Mavericks. That is going to be an interesting game. Just because Kyrie, Luka, how are they going to start off the season? I don't have any faith in their center position. I know they drafted Derek Lively Jr., who literally was the center after Mark Williams left. And I think he's a great center. I think he's a good center, especially good rookie center. How about that? But I just don't know. I think Mark Williams is going to be too much on the boards for him. Then we also have Nick Richards. Also, I know they have Rashawn Holmes, but he hasn't played in a minute, and I just don't know what kind of value he's going to be able to bring to a team. We'll see. I mean, I'm rooting for all players, most of the time. I just think it's really going to be a game that is won on the boards, and I think Nick Richards, Mark Williams, and of course LaMelo and other guys can rebound as well. I think that's where we're going to take it from them. It's going to be a high scoring game, but I think overall we're going to beat them on the boards, and that's going to lead us to beating them in the game. So we'll go Mavs. Let's see, and then we'll go W. Okay, so right now we'll be 4-2 technically based on my predictions. I think we're going to win both Wizards games. I don't know about y'all, but I think we're going to win both Wizards games. Shout out to all 9 people that are in here too. I really appreciate that. But I think we're going to win both Wizards games. Jordan Poole, whatever. I mean, okay, and I'm not. I think Bilal Koulibaly is going to be a good player, but am I really concerned? No, not really. I don't think there's anything that the Wizards have that can beat. I think they might catch us off guard one of these games, and if they do, I think it's going to be the home game because the Hornets are going to go in with the Wizards and get hit in the mouth. But thinking about talent, thinking about just the games in general, even though without Miles, the second game being an in-season tournament game, I say we win both of those regardless. I think we really do. And I have us being much better than I anticipated because I did not think that I would have us winning essentially, what is this? We start off the season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6-2. That would be crazy. The Knicks, this is probably out of the first 10 games, the Knicks are probably Jordan Poole's overrated. I don't know, man. It's hard to say that he's overrated. There are some things that I wish he did better because it's like scoring and then that's it. But I guess for the Wizards, that's good. They need someone just to chuck up shots. So yeah, I think overall, if you're looking at him right now, does what he do contribute to winning? Yes, but it has to be other players that do other things on that team. So like for the Warriors, it worked out. I think Jordan Poole was very good as far as what he did for the Warriors, but having his own team, I think that's a whole different story. To where, to your point, yeah, I think that people think he's too good. But yeah, I also think he is overhated too. I do believe that he can be overrated and overhated. Because the people who do believe in him think he's like the next best thing. The people who do not like him usually think he's the worst player ever. And I just think that he is not your top guy. So I feel like some people believe, oh, well, now he's off the Warriors. He's going to show what he can do. He's going to be all this amazing, great player. I think he's going to get up shots. I think he's going to make shots. I think he's going to make crazy shots. I think he might even shoot at a high percentage. I just don't believe that he can be that number one guy. He can be the number two, but your number one guy better be a Kawhi mode or mold. You know what I mean? I don't think he can be just playing the way he does, and then your team is successful because of that. I just don't see it. But yeah, I have the Wizards. I have us beating the Wizards both times, even in that in-season tournament game. The Knicks is probably my favorite matchup of the first 10 games. I don't know if I already said that or not, but the Knicks are probably because this, if you look at their recent success, the stuff with Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett is looking, good as of right now, playing for Canada. Julius Randle, Josh Hart, who's a really big glue piece for that team. Mitchell Robinson. Like, if you look at that team, Dante DiVincenzo, I forgot that they got him. If you look at that team, it seems like they're leaps and bounds better than us as far as they made the playoffs last year. Jalen Brunson is only going to get better. They're hoping, RJ plays better. They're hoping Julius Randle. I think he's a good player, but he plays himself out of games. He just, if he's not scoring, he's not touching the ball, it's kind of obsolete. But if he can fix that, they could be a better team. Dante DiVincenzo, I think, is a good role player for them. But I don't feel it. I don't feel like that team is much better than the Hornets. I don't. I know that it may look that way because they made the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years. They beat the Cavaliers last year. They gave the Heat kind of a run for the money, even though they couldn't take advantage of the Jimmy Butler injury. But that team just doesn't seem that much better than us. I really don't think they're that much better than us. But I will say, I unfortunately have the Hornets losing this game. Can't win them all. I think that it's just going to be, Madison Square Garden. It's not going to be easy. I think it's going to be a good game. I just don't think it's a game we're going to win. And then we know that last game is against the Miami Heat, which, unfortunately, once again, I just have us losing. We can win that game for sure. It's not out of the realm of possibility, especially being a home game. I just think the Heat in that stifling defense is just going to be too much for us. Especially we're missing our second. Last year earlier in the year we get destroyed. Yeah, when we play the Knicks early, we usually get destroyed. I do like that. The game where we went to Madison Square Garden last year and spoiled. I don't think it affected them that much, but they were like in the midst of like getting a higher seed or something, and we kind of beat them, and that kind of prevented them. But I think they ended up getting it anyway. I think. I'm not sure. But either way, it meant a lot to them, that game, and we went to Madison Square Garden and beat them with a bunch of nobodies. I say nobodies, but Kelly Oubre was leading the charge, so that was crazy. It's going to be a close game for sure, but I don't know. But like I said, I have the Heat. I just think they're going to beat us. I think that defense is just too good. They do embarrass us at times, even though sometimes we keep up. I'll just say we lose that game. So as of right now, we'll finish. I say we finish the 10 games 6-4, which is good. Anything. I know I said 5-5 in yesterday's video. I was like, hey, if the Charlotte Hornets go 5-5, I'm good. But I'll even take 4-6. You're missing Miles Bridges, who's a 20-point per game scorer, roughly, and you're playing some difficult teams. Like you're playing what? You're really playing 1, 2. You're playing 2, 3, 3 to 4 playoff teams. So 6-4 makes sense. So I'm not mad at it if we go 6-4, but I'll even take 4-6 in the reality of it. So yeah, that's what it was. They were on a 12-game win streak, exactly, and we beat them. So that was good to see. All right, so now we have Miles back, November 17th, Friday, against the Milwaukee Bucks in an in-season tournament game. I don't know. I want to say we win this game just because of the shock value. And plus, at this point in the season, losing 3 straight games is just not good for momentum. Even though technically we would be at 6-5, I'm assuming. We'll be 6-5 if we lose this game. But I just don't want to. I don't think we'll be able to win that game. I think Giannis is going to be too much. I know it's at home, but you got the Knicks, Celtics coming to town, Wizards, which I'm not going to be worried about. I'll say we lose this game. I know it sucks. I know we don't want that to happen, but I'll say we just lose that game. It is the Bucks. It's not like the Bucks are trash by any means. I just don't think. Um, I think LaMelo. If I'm understanding the conversation correctly, I think. Oh man, I think LaMelo talent wise, what we know LaMelo can do is better than Brunson. I don't think his current impact is better than Brunson. Honestly, it's really just because of time spent. That's really all it is. Brunson's been in the league for a while. That's really the difference. It's the age. That's really all it is. It's just the experience. But as far as what LaMelo can do, like what we know, what LaMelo can do, what we project him to do, I would say he's the better player. But as of right now, impacting the team to win, I think Brunson has that bigger impact. But I don't. I'll say this though. I don't think Brunson. I don't. Yeah, I don't think you could take Brunson and switch him with LaMelo, and this team is better. I think it's just you have to look at it in the vacuum for the Knicks and as far for each their individual teams. So I think Brunson has the bigger impact, but that's for his specific team. I don't think you can put Brunson on the Hornets and then the Hornets kind of elevate their game the way they do when LaMelo plays. But I do think you put LaMelo on the Knicks, that makes them a different team too. So it's the type of player LaMelo is. But for right now, for their individual teams, I think Brunson has the bigger impact. But also, the Hornets don't have the quality that the Knicks have, at least not yet. Ball don't. I don't know, man. Sometimes it doesn't feel like he does, but at other times you could tell like he really cares about winning. He takes the big shots. Oh man, I don't know. Part of me feels like that's a culture thing, and I probably could go on for hours about that. And hopefully that changes. I don't think that can flip this season, but over the course of the next few seasons, I think that changes. But I think it's just a culture thing. I think that it's hard to. It's when you're put in a position like this where you're kind of giving the same team over and over again. There's not really that much big change to. It's obvious that the team is attempting to win more games. It's hard. I'm pretty sure as a player, it's hard to really go out there and have that killer instinct. But I don't know. That's something I'll have to think about because I think he does. Like we've seen him take big shots. We've seen him argue calls like in close games. We've seen him rally the guy. Like we've seen him do things that make you believe he has that killer instinct. But the team has just been so inconsistent over the last couple of years. I think it gets pushed under that. So I think he has it, but overall as a team, we don't have it. And I think that just diminishes how much of a killer instinct he has. There's only so much you can do. I will say if you're basing it off the two play-in games, then yeah, he didn't play that well in either. I mean, I know one game it looked like he played better than he did, but still, I get what you're saying though. All right, so this game against the Knicks, after we just played the Bucks the night before, I think we win. We lost to the Knicks the first time. I think at home in the Queen City, I think we win that. Like I said, the Knicks are an interesting team. They're just how they're ran, and just the players. They have quality all throughout their lineup. Whether you like objectively, they really do have quality all throughout their lineup. It just they don't play the way they should, in my opinion. I feel like they play a little reserved at times. And I think they should be better than what they are, to be honest. If you look at the quality they have, they have solid players all throughout. They just don't play like that at times, and I think it's because one of your best players is Julius Randle, and when he doesn't have the ball in his hand, he's not really doing much, and that's on purpose. It's not like he doesn't have the skill set to do it; it's just on purpose. But I'll have us winning that game. If there's a Knicks fan in here or someone who watches the Knicks a lot more, let me know. And yes, I do agree that the Hornets as a whole are too soft for sure as a whole. But we saw that change a little bit with Steve Clifford last year, so I would like to see what it looks like when the players are going out there knowing they have a chance at something, because it was very early on that you knew that this team wasn't going to do much. The Celtics on a Monday, as Jason Tatum said, the Celtics playing the Celtics. Yeah, we're going to Charlotte on a Monday. I think that's stupid. Now I got what he was saying, but it's crazy that we actually get the Celtics on a Monday and they're coming to Charlotte. Literally has it how he played out in the scenario. But guess what? It could be my bias. But if you're the Hornets And as we were just talking about them being soft, if you're the Hornets, you see that you're playing the Celtics on a Monday after that Jason Tatum. And it's not about Jason Tatum himself and what he said. It's about how it was perceived on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. How it was perceived on social media. Where people are, oh, he's dissing the Hornets. I think if you're the players, you didn't think anything of it. It's one of those things where social media hyped it up, and now you're riled up about it. And if the Hornets want to prove they're not soft, this is a big game that I would want them to show up for. And I think they will. Think if you really are serious about winning, this is it. That is a game to show everybody. Look, we're here to win. We're here to play the best teams and put someone on a back. The Wizards, again, dang, we played the Wizards 3 times in like the first 20 games. I'll say, before we go to Orlando, I'll say we win this one too. I say we win this one against the Wizards. It doesn't feel right beating the same team. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Okay, it disappeared. I don't know what happened. Anyway, it doesn't feel right saying we'll beat the same team 3 times in 15 games. You could probably take out one of these, and just for the math that I'm doing later, I'll say we lose one of these. Yeah, it just didn't feel right as far as just how I know basketball goes. It's not that I don't think we're the better team. It's just the way basketball goes. Beating the same team 3 times in 15 games is crazy. So I just don't see it happening. I think we lose one of them. Probably the one where we go to Washington, right? You don't think we'll beat the Celtics? No. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. And let me know if I'm crazy. I think Celtics, by far, better team. Not saying they're not. Way too talented. Al Horford, of course. I'm naming a role player just because that's how good they are. But they got Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, Robert Williams, and then not even to mention Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Malcolm Brogdon when he's healthy. Who else is on there? Derek White. They are super, super talented. But last year, we were missing everybody. And this year, the reason I say I'm hoping we win this game is like we were just talking about. Hornets have been soft. The Borrego era, we saw them be soft. Exactly, Doughboy. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. We are not the better team. Celtics, much better team. We have something to play for there. One, we're trying to get kind of where they are. So you have to win these tough games. But also, if they want to prove they're not soft, the first game you have against the Celtics on a Monday after the Jason Tatum video and how it's perceived online, that is a game where you take some off the court stuff and bring it on the court. You're saying, hey, even though 100%, I know the players were probably, when they first saw that video, they weren't thinking nothing of it. But when other people hype it up and be like, oh, you're going to let them say that about you? That's something you gotta sign up for. It's on a Monday. It literally plays out the way the video does. You got to show up this game. So it's not about, do I think the Hornets are better and all that. It's just more of like, this is the game you got to win, I feel as though. Does it have an overall impact on the season? No, maybe not. But as far as you want to prove something, you have everybody will be healthy this game, allegedly. Miles Bridges' suspension is over at this point, and he's a couple games in. I think you just got to win it. That's kind of my point. You got to rise up to the occasion for that game. All right. Next is I already said the Wizards, so we'll go to the Magic. The Magic is going to be a tough one, too. The Magic is another team. They just have talent all throughout that lineup. Now, does the talent fit for that team? Not necessarily. It's just a team with a bunch of talent. But we're on the road. Oh man, I don't know. The Magic is a tough team. Sunday, we ain't gotta go. I'll say we lose it. I'm looking at the schedule. You play on Sunday. You go from Charlotte to Orlando, and then you got to get up and go from Orlando to New York. You do get a day rest in between. I'll just say that's a game we don't show up for. It sucks because it's the Magic. It's a division rival, of course. But we played them 4 times, I believe. So I'll say we lose that game, but we definitely have a chance. It's on the road. You know, young teams always play very well at home. It's not. But but like I said, it's not because the Hornets necessarily themselves are better than the Celtics. It's not that. It's just like I'm saying, that's a game that it's more like I'm hoping they win. That's like one of a game where I'll admit, if someone goes back and look at the spreadsheet and look at the games I have the Hornets winning or losing, the Celtics game, they're like, dude, y'all not gonna win that game. I wouldn't argue that. I'm just saying, as a Hornets fan, and as just knowing what the Hornets are trying to achieve, if you want to set a record, then win this game. That's kind of what my point is for that. At the Magic game because I live near there and I'm a Hornets fan. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I live in Georgia, so I go to the Hawks games and sit there for when the Hornets come to town. Well, I didn't last year because I was like, what's the point? But usually I do. All right, so the Knicks again. Oh man. I'll say that. I'll say this sounds crazy, but we're being realistic here. I think we lose both of these. I think we go on this road trip. No, you know what? I take that back. I say the in-season tournament game we win. No, I'm thinking. What do y'all think? What do y'all think between the Knicks and the Nets? I'm low key thinking the Nets we win and the Knicks we lose. It's hard to move my emotional bias because it's like I would if we're going to lose because I think we're going to lose one for sure. But if we lose one, I would rather lose this game because I want to win the in-season tournament game. Oh man, I say we. Looking at our group, I was like, man, we should win. We might could get out the group. But looking at how the games are placed within the schedule with the other games surrounding it, it looks a little rough. So I agree, Lamont. It does look like sometimes the Hornets. It does. My biggest gripe, and I've said this 100 times on my channel. It doesn't feel like they're playing that hard, and I don't know why. Steve Clifford. I will say this: Steve Clifford seems like he has changed that. It's just last year we didn't have the team to support that, so we really don't didn't get a good look at how much of an impact Steve Clifford had as far as the team playing so soft. I'll say that. This is a tournament and we're the Hornets. Yeah, QC, what's up? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I agree. That's what I'm looking at. We're the Hornets. Like that's the part I feel like I haven't been thinking about is that at the end of the day, we are the Hornets, and stuff happens. It just does. But if we're, I think we're not gonna. I think we're gonna lose the Knicks, beat the Nets. Minnesota. Now I know we beat them last year with Lamelo, but were they missing Cat at the time? I don't remember. I don't remember if they were missing Cat at the time when we beat them last year. I know we had Lamelo, and that was like right before he got hurt. But I don't remember if they had. No, they couldn't have had Cat. Cat got hurt early, so this will be a fun game. We know ever since D'Angelo Russell, when he was part of the Timberwolves, made that tweet after LaMelo got hurt and was like, "I told y'all, who was a rookie," something like that. I forgot what he said. Hated him ever since. Um, man, it's gonna be interesting. This is actually gonna be a good matchup for Mark because this is one of the few centers that truly can stretch the floor. You can be pretty sure that he's going to hit. As far as like Joel Embiid, he can do it. Jokic can do it, but like, are you sure they're going to hit? Don't like you're not sure. Like you're not surprised when they do, but you're also not surprised when they miss. Cat, you're more surprised when he misses. Oh man, I'll say lost just because that is going to be a game for Mark. I want to see. I think he can do it. I think Mark Williams has the ability to guard a perimeter. We saw him block that Trae Young shot last year, but I really enjoy. This is actually a game I would circle. Messed up. I would circle this game. I really want to see how Mark Williams handles guarding someone like Cat, who is extremely, extremely comfortable playing on the perimeter. Yeah, but I think you would have to put. You're right, actually. I forgot about Gobert. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Dang, that was my fault. Now I'm trying to think. Well, with PJ on there, it's a little better. I'm thinking. I'll say we still lose it. We are the Hornets. I forgot about Gobert was on there. I'm not worried about that, but I am worried about because if I think PJ could do a better job guarding Cat on the perimeter, JT Thor, whoever else we throw at him, maybe even Brandon Miller to an extent. However, if Cat is if the team is smart enough, you Cat will just back down PJ. Yeah, I'll probably split the Heat. That's what I was looking at next. But Cat will probably just back down PJ, back down JT. But Cat gets frustrated easily, and you know what? I don't hate Gobert. I don't hate Gobert. I'm just not worried about him. Um, you know what? I'm gonna change it. If we can get Cat frustrated, Ant gonna do Ant. Right? That's why I haven't even mentioned him. Ant is gonna be Ant. Um, and there's gonna be a lot of talking back. I think this is gonna be a fun game. But I think the X factor is Cat, and if we get Cat frustrated, he does dumb stuff once he gets frustrated every time, every time. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go. We'll win that game. I think we win the home, lose the away. I think that's pretty simple, probably self-explanatory. Uh, I don't see us losing both those games. Either we win one, or we win both. I don't see us losing both. All right, next game. Let's go ahead and get this going all the way up. Pelicans in Charlotte. Oh man. Okay, so at this point we're at December 15th. How many games in are we? We are 20 games in, so like a fourth, little under a fourth way through the season. Oh man, the Pelicans. I don't want to wish bad on anybody as far as saying the Zion for the end season tournament. Do they have a 9-day break? I didn't even catch that. Oh yeah, there is a 9-day. Yeah, it's probably for the tournament more than likely. Team awards who wins most improved for the Hornets. Who wins most improved for the Hornets? Uh, man, I'm trying to think. I think it's gonna be JT Thor. Let me think of everybody. No, well, it depends how you look at it. It depends on how you look at it. Technically, I think it will probably be LaMelo. I think LaMelo is going to go from this 28-7 type player to maybe a 25, 9.5, 8 type player with better shooting percentages. So if you want to look at it like that, then he would be the most improved player. But if you're looking at a guy who, came from nothing to something, then I would say JT Thor. But like back to the Pelicans, I have no idea. Like I said, I don't want to put injury on anybody, but Zion just doesn't seem to be healthy at times. I know it seems like he's healthy now, but there's no telling what's happening December 15th. But we'll just assume he's healthy. If that's the case, I think we could still win this game. They really haven't changed much for their team. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think they've changed much for their team from last year. CJ McCollum isn't. I mean, he's a good player, but I don't think. I think he's already kind of losing like the CJ McCollum they traded for, and now they kind of have him in a different role. So I don't think he's going to have that much of an impact as far as on the court. I think we can do a good job containing him. Brandon Ingram, I think he's going to show up. Well, I'll say we lose that game. I feel like Zion, Brandon Ingram in North Carolina, they're going to want to show out. They're extremely talented players. Zion, there's really not that many people that could stop him. I'll just say we lose that game. All right, so now we're at the Philadelphia 76ers. That is an interesting one. You know what? Actually, every time, unless they don't have James Harden and literally just trade everybody, I don't see us winning that game because we just get dominated every time. Now I know Mark Williams is better than the centers we've had in the past, but man, it's always rough playing the 76ers. Cat do be thinking he's a small forward. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. And I don't know if you were here earlier, QC, but I was saying that JT Thor not playing in the summer league to me was a sign that the Hornets organization had faith in him. So I truly believe that, like you said, if PJ doesn't come back or someone gets hurt, JT Thor is going to get way more playing time, and I think he deserves it. I mean, we saw last year, even though he's not quite where we exactly want him to be, we saw last year he literally got better every game. So at the beginning, he was making me upset, and I was like, "Why?" We can see Kai Jones at this point, but as every game he had minutes, he progressively he just got better. He just kept getting better and better. So I'm not mad at it, and I think he will probably have the best chance of getting minutes if something were to happen. the Raptors, Pacers, and the Nuggets. Raptors away. I think we can win that game. I think we can. I think we can beat the Raptors away. I think we can win that. Let's W. And then the one. Well, the other one was the Pacers away. Pacers away. I had us beating the Pacers earlier. I'll do this. I'll say it's a win for now. Well, I don't know how many times we play the Pacers. I think we'll go. I think we'll kind of split our series with the Pacers. Young PJ Tucker for sure. Hey, look, if he turns anything like PJ Tucker, I'd be ecstatic. I think Mark Williams is going to be 50. Yeah, if Mark Williams averaged 15, 10, 1.5 blocks of 2, and yeah, for sure, Mark Williams could get it too. I didn't think about that because technically he'll go from. I guess I didn't think about Mark because I kind of already have a positive reception of him, but technically, if you think about it, he didn't play half the season, so that he would probably have a big jump compared. Yeah, I think that's a good one too. I was just thinking that I already know Mark is good, and I expect him to do pretty much a lot of the same of what he did last year when he started starting. So I didn't really think about that. But if you think about as far as the whole season, then yeah, for sure, Mark Williams will probably get that. Yeah, Kai Jones think he at Rucker Park. Like he think I don't know what he think he got going on. But yeah, I have us winning this both these games. I feel pretty confident about the Raptors. Iffy about the Pacers. I will see how many times we play the Pacers, but I think we're just going to split the series. I just don't know how many times we play the Pacers yet because this is my first time looking at the whole schedule. I'm saving it for the stream. So, all right, next the Nuggets. I don't even want to. There's not even a reason to spend time. Jokic is too good. We allow way too many open threes, and Michael Porter Jr. is one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Jamal Murray is just amazing coming off screens and moving without the ball, and we're not good at defending that. I would the Nuggets. I think we win that game unless something were to happen. This might be but that's a home game. Before we go on the road, does that change how I feel about this game? If I could, I would look at I would just click and see where the Nuggets are coming, like the games around there for the Nuggets. Oh man. But this is a gauntlet coming up at the end of the year. You know what? It's a home game. I'll give us that one, but we're definitely not. This road trip is not going to be good for us. Do you think we let PJ walk and bring back Cody Zeller? No. At least I hope not. If we let PJ walk and let Cody Zeller come back and that be the replacement for PJ, then I want Michael Jordan on the team again. But you might as well. The new owner should not allow that to happen at all. Please. All right. Good going on the road. Clippers. Oh my God, this is the worst. This is the worst road trip I've ever seen. As far as this is just not good for us. Clippers, Lakers, Suns, Nuggets, Kings, Bulls. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'd rather have Isaiah Thomas than Cody Zeller. Bring Cody Zeller as an assistant. I appreciate that. Do y'all see this road trip is ugly though? I can't get over this. I'm a screenshot this. This might be the ugliest road trip I've seen. Now I want to go through every team and see what their road trip look like. See what one of their road trips look like. This is hideous. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and start the Clippers. Oh man, the Clippers are wishy-washy though, and it's December, day after Christmas. You know what? Give me a dub for that. 4 games in a row. That's crazy. Yeah, I should probably change that. But give me a dub for the D. Oh, if we bring back Diop, then I give up. I give up. I don't know. They don't want us to be home. I guess I have no idea. Yeah, the NBA definitely hates us. But Clipper, I think we can win this game. It's the day after the Christmas. I'm pretty sure Kawhi and Paul George are not going to load manage like they have previous, but I think this is one of those games where they don't really play anybody. I'm going. I'm going. We win this game. It's not going to be pretty, but I'm going. We win this game. Lakers. I think this will be an entertaining game, but I don't think we win it. I don't think we win that game. Lakers, they're going to be home, and then the Suns and you know what? The next two games, Suns, Nuggets. We're going to lose both of these. I'm just telling you now. With KD, Beal, Booker, maybe if someone's hurt, maybe we have a chance against the Suns. Man, yeah, I don't think, but I'll tell you this. Oops, I done messed it up. I think we can beat the Kings. I think we can beat the Kings. I think that it's very possible we can beat the Kings. So I have us winning against the Clippers, losing, and beating the Kings. I think that makes sense. LeBron shooting into that part too. But I think we can beat the Kings though. The Kings are a really good team. They are literally what I hope for the Charlotte Hornets, and I don't think this will be the year for us to do it, but maybe next year. But they're what I hope, where you just play hard, like you just play like you want to win, and we see that translates to wins. I honestly think that if they didn't run into the Warriors the first round, they really could have made it out. I believe, personally. I believe it. I think the Hornets really should take the Kings. That sounds crazy, but if the Hornets just play like they want to win and just play cohesive, we could be the Kings as far as going from this team that's like the laughingstock of the NBA to wow, we should probably take this team seriously. I think so. Beating the Kings, I'll say we lose this game to the Bulls. I just say we do. It's just a road game because then we play them at home. I'll say we win that one. Bulls, I don't think they're that good. I don't think they're that much better than us. It's just more so it's part of this crazy road trip that we go back to Chicago before we go home. So I'll just say we lose that, but then beat the Bulls at home because that's the next game. So, yeah, I think we can do that. Then we play the Kings at home. Kings are good. I'm not going to pretend they're not. So I could say they can come to Charlotte and beat us after we just beat them at home. I think that's pretty fair. I think it makes sense. The Spurs, the Wemby game. This is the one game I believe we have on ESPN. Yeah, for sure. I think we have the potential as the Kings. The way the Kings were just kind of took off and they just played cohesive. They loved playing together. Their defense was not good. They were just really good offensively and they were efficient offensively. They ended up being a playoff team. We can take that approach. We should at least. But yeah, the Wemby game, first game on ESPN. I think our only game on ESPN. We win that game. I think Wemby's good. I think Wemby's great. Is Wemby going to have first of all, is that team, how good are the Spurs outside of Wemby? They're pretty good. Like Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell. There was somebody else I wanted to mention. Beauchamp. Did I say? Oh, Jeremy Shohan. That's what I forgot. There was one other person I wanted to mention. They got a point guard, but I can't remember what point guard they got. No, it wasn't a point guard. It was Sissoko, CD Sissoko from G League Ignite. They got him as well, but I don't think that's enough to. I think we're an overall better team. Wemby probably will have a crazy game, but I think we're the better team. All right, so we're moving right on through against the Heat on the road and then the Pelicans on the road. I will go ahead and let's just go ahead and take those L's. Heat on the road, Pelicans on the road. It just doesn't look good for us. Beating the Spurs once again. I don't think the Spurs are that good. I think they're going to be better. Just don't think. I think we have the upper hand. Plus, these are games we need. These are games we got to start winning. So. I think we can beat the Spurs for sure. The 76ers, as I mentioned, they just always dog us. Can y'all think of a time where we haven't been dogged by the 76ers? Usually they just dog us. I wish I could look up the stats Joel Embiid has. I probably could. Let's see. Joel Embiid versus Hornets. Stat Muse. Oh, we should do the last two seasons. Can y'all see that? No, I can tell you right now it's too small. There we go. I think y'all can see that. All right. Oh my God, look at this. He ever in the last 2 seasons since December 2021, he's averaged 37 against us. 37. Shooting 66% from the field. 46% from three, even though he's only taking he takes two a game roughly. Yeah, 30, 37, 11, and 5 essentially. He only averages like one block though. That's crazy. Yeah, Embiid just does what Embiid does. I wonder, did we play? I don't think so. I spelled Mark Williams wrong. Did we play? I think I was about to say I don't think we had. I don't think Mark ever really played against Embiid. The hit we saw with history. Yeah, it just we know what happens when we play the 76ers. It just does not end well for us. So I'll just say we lost that game. We just lost that game. The Timberwolves on the road. I had us winning the last game. No, I had us. Did I have us winning or losing? Timberwolves, Wolves. Where did I have that? Wolves. I had us winning. All right, this will be later in the season. A little bit of a mini road trip, kinda. I had us winning the first meeting. Okay, we're on the road playing the Wolves. They are a good team. I mean, they made the play-in with missing Cat, or they made the playoffs missing Cat. So, right? Yeah, they made the playoffs missing Cat. I mean, it's not like they're sorry. So I'll just say we lost that game. I mean, it's a good team to lose to if you're going to lose. Pistons, I think we beat them again. And then the next game was against the Rockets and Jazz. Rockets, Jazz, Knicks, Bulls. Rockets, Jazz, Knicks, Bulls. Rockets, I say we win. Jazz, I think I could say that's a win. Knicks again, but I spelled Knicks wrong. Knicks again, but this time we're home. I don't know. If we play against the Knicks again for like the fourth time at home, I'll say a loss. I think, I think that could be a loss. You're not going to go 4-0 on a home stand. The Knicks are probably the best team in this scenario. So if you just handle your business with the other teams, I think losing to the Knicks is whatever. Because then I'm pretty confident about going to having the Bulls come to town and we beat them as well. So I think that we'll be able to handle that. Let's see. Yes, Kai Jones is Wembanyama's father for sure. I know when there was like the butt crack sports, whatever, the tweet they had about Wemby being a 98 or something. I was like, Kai must be a 99 because if Wemby's a 98 and Kai's a 99, and people thought I took that, I meant that. And I was like, it's just joking. OKC. Now we surprised them last year, but OKC isn't a trash team. So looking at OKC, thinking about what the Hornets do, OKC, Shea, Dort, Chet will be available. We're in the latter part of the season. Things could get dicey. How about this? We're in February. Yeah, we're moving in February. First game of February. Where are we at? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 losses. And how many games is this? It's 44 games. So what? We will be 23 and 21 at this point. Tupelo Melo was the part that bothered me the most. When I like him being an 84 and LaMelo only being 86, that's what was crazy. Yeah, the Brandon Miller game is going to be insane. You know what? If we look back, I think the Brandon Miller game, just by spitballing here, I think the first Brandon Miller game we're going to have, like, oh my God, he's arrived, is going to be this Mavs game. No, that's too early in the season. We'll say this Pacers game right here. I think that's going to be the first Brandon Miller game we have. So at this point in the season, going into February, I have us going at 23 and 21. I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. You're over 500. You're staying afloat. You have some easier games coming up because we saw that a big chunk of our losses came from this ridiculous road trip that we have after Christmas. So I think that starting in February, going in 500, a little over 500, I think that's where you want to be. Saying that, do we beat OKC? OKC is good, but they're so top heavy though. That's kind of my point. They're so top heavy. Uh, I'll say we win. I say we win that game. I think we have what it takes to win. They even with Chet, they don't have a real true center technically. I think Mark Williams can get over on Chet as far as physicality. Uh, they don't really have anyone to stop LaMelo. Definitely don't have anyone to put on Bridges. I mean, you could put Dort there maybe, but I think Miles Bridges is just as physical as Dort and just as imposing. So I think that's going to be a good battle. You got Terry Rozier running around, Brandon Miller being able to shoot over people, play make, and then PJ who lit them up last year. They're not going to let that happen again, but still, I think we can win that game. Next game I think is a home game. I think the Lakers come to town. Uh, Lakers, Raptors, Bucks, Grizzlies. Okay, so I think the Lakers game we do usually win a game against the Lakers, right? If I'm not mistaken, we normally usually squeeze out something. It never is the prettiest game, but we usually squeeze out something. But at this point, I think the Raptors are going to realize they're not that good. So they're going to start offloading people. So at this point, I think we could say we won this game as well. So that's a nice little 4-game win streak. Bulls, OKC, Lakers, Raptors. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that's a possibility? Yes, Mark Williams did go from 72 to a 78, which I think that was pretty good. I think that was pretty good. Maybe they watched some Hornets film. Maybe. I think he could have been a little higher, though. I unfortunately buy 2K every year because I'm part of a team. Well, not a team, just my friends. We always play. That's kind of like our game. So I always buy it every year. But if it wasn't for the team, I wouldn't bother probably. Thor was in the 69 for the longest time. Yeah, when Thor came in, they were like, we have no idea who this guy even is. And I think they just give guys like that under 70 because they're like, this guy's not that popular. It's probably just best to give him under 70. Um, let's see. Yeah, I had us beating the Raptors. I think the Bucks away. Oh man, I don't think we're gonna win that game. I don't think we're probably gonna win any game against the Bucks this year unless it's a miracle. The Grizzlies, Pacers, Hawks. Grizzlies, Pacers, Hawks, Grizzlies, Pacers, Hawks. The Grizzlies, John Morant, Marcus Smart, JJJ, Xavier Tillman. What's his name? I was about to say Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bain. We're the Hornets. Lost. That's supposed to be a loss. We're the Hornets. What about the game? The other Indiana game? Oh yeah, this next game. I think I have a 2-0 against the Pacers so far. Let me see. Pacers. That's not what I wanted. Pacers. Win. Yeah, you're right. And I did say this earlier. I think the Pacers is going to be like an evenly matched team for us. I do have us winning 2 of the earlier Pacers games, so it's only right that we probably lose this one, even though it may not be this one particularly, but 2-1 against the Pacers at the first 3 times we played them makes sense. So it just may not be in that order, though. Then the Hawks at home again. I say we go home and home against the Hawks. So we won the home game early in the season against them. We'll play the Indiana game before the Lakers. Oh, did I miss that game? Oh, man, I'm blind. I did. So here, insert below. No, I done messed up my numbers. All right, hold on. Let me fix this. And then there we go. Fixed it. All right, so go down here. It's supposed to be Pacers. I'll put loss because I said that we will probably split against the Pacers specifically. So thank you for that. I fixed it. But yeah, I think we'll split the season series against the Pacers. At this point, it'll be 4, so I don't think we will play them again. And I think we'll split that So yeah, 2-2, not bad. Pacers are they're an evenly matched team with us, I believe. They're a team that they are. If I had to project a team to kind of go on that Kings run, I think it will be them. I don't. The Kings at times were like 2, 3 seed in the West. Don't think the Pacers are getting that high, but I do feel like they're going to be a team that they may not have all the talent in the world, but those guys are going to play well together. Before Tyrese got his injury last year, they were like a borderline playoff team, if not a playoff team. So I say that I think splitting the season series with them is not a bad thing, to be honest. So let's see, what game do I have? Actually, it would make more sense if I just move this here. All right, so I got Bucks, Grizzlies, Pacers, Hawks. Okay, so the Hawks were the last team I left off on. And then the Jazz, Warriors. Ooh, Jazz, Warriors, Jazz. W. I'm gonna give us that. Warriors, L. We're on the road. It's not gonna be pretty for us. I just feel like that's gonna be this is probably gonna be like the epitome of a Hornets game where we go to whatever their new arena is called and lose. And just because, you can't look at the box score and be like, oh, well, this is where we lost. It's gonna be one of those games where it comes down to the end of the fourth quarter and we just lay down and they just blow us out the water in the fourth. Trailblazers. There's just no way Dames is part of the team this late in the season. With that being said, I know Scoot is probably going to do his hardest to want to beat the Hornets. We're still going to beat them. I don't think they have the talent, especially if you're talking about Nurkic is going to be gone as well. Give us that dub. They're not going to have anybody to go against Mark Williams specifically, and definitely not LaMelo Ball. Let's see. If the Hornets do end up going on a semi-Kings run, what becomes the beam for us? I don't know. We do need something. We do need something that's like the beam. I don't know what it is. Like the beam is so top tier. I'm not quite sure what we can do to mimic that, but we do have to think of something. If the Hornets finish the top 20 games, 5 games over 500, so let's say I don't even know what it will be. What's a good record? Well, let's just say if the Hornets are 13-7, yeah, roughly 13-7. I will take that, and we should come up with something like the beam, because at that point there's nothing that could bring me down. If the Hornets start the season 13-7. The Bucks again. Okay, we played the Bucks 2 more times. Jeez. Oh, so we must be playing a whole division 4 times. Okay, so Bucks back to back. I have us losing the first 2 games against the Bucks. We have to win one of them. So I'm gonna say we lose the first one because that's the one that's on the road, and we win the second one because that's the one at home. I think that's what we're gonna do for that. 76ers. I think I did have us winning a 76ers game earlier. After getting demolished. Let's see. Did I? No, I didn't. We have to win one. I know I pulled up the stats, and for those of you who didn't see, can I go back? Is it gonna let me go back? This is what Joel Embiid does against us. He drops 37 a game in the last 2 years. Just don't see us doing anything. They better, yeah. Rick and Gabe better get to thinking it, because I think that will hype up everybody if we get something like the beam. If we go on that kind of run, Joel Embiid just drops 37. It's hard to say we're going to win a game against the Sixers when Joel Embiid does that. But we have Mark Williams now. I have Joel Embiid beating us the first 2 times. I'll give us something, because there's no way we just lose every game against them. The Raptors, again, I usually have us beating the Raptors so far this season. I think the other 2 times we matched up against them, it's bound to have an L. And that's why I kind of like going through every game, because if I just look at every team and not know where they are in the schedule or anything like that, it's easy to be like, okay, well, let's just base off talent for talent. But when you're thinking about how many times you play a team, when do you play them compared to the rest of your schedule, it adds a lot of extra dynamic to it. All right, and so now we're at the Magic. We always lose to this. We always lose to the Sixers. Always, for sure. We just gotta have one, right? Because I think I have us losing the first 2, so we just gotta have one. So I'll just give us that one. All right, so the Magic. I want to say, did I have us winning? It don't matter. That's a home game for us. The Magic are good. They're gonna be a team that gives us trouble. They're not that good. I think we can win that one. The Wizards is going to catch us off guard at some point, but I do have us going 2-1 against them so far up to now. 3-1. I don't think the Wizards are just going to be. They're not going to be good enough. By this point, March 8th, they might be shutting down people. The Nets are too good. I do have us beating them the other 2 times. If I remember correctly, they're going to beat us eventually once. Is that but that's a home game. You know what? I'm gonna give us a W on that. We're at this point we're just gonna beat them 3 times. That's what it looks like. The Pistons, now I know for the fact I have us beating the Pistons every time we've played them up to now. We've seen them beat our good teams when they were trash. So it only makes sense that the Pistons do get a win against us. Won't be necessary. I mean, it won't be a good sight to see. I know everybody will panic if that happens, but it's going to happen. We're not going to win every game against every team. So I think the Pistons could catch us. The Grizzlies, as someone mentioned earlier, even though I know I've had us losing against the Grizzlies earlier, it's not going to be one of those ones where I say, oh, we win this time. No, I think we're just going to lose again. The Suns. Oh man, are we going to beat the Suns at all this season? I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be a time where we're going to be able to beat the Suns unless they have injury. Which this late in the season, I think they'll probably still be playing for seeding. Seeding will be very important for the Suns this year. I truly believe that. So I think they're going to try to win every game they can. I had us winning, lose. I don't think we're going to win that game. Now the 76ers again. Jeez, I don't want to have us losing. But I had us winning that other one, so. Going 1-3 against the 76ers makes sense. I don't think we're going to win more than 2 games against them. Joel Embiid's too good. Yes, the Kelly Olynyk game was the exact game I was thinking of specifically. Orlando Magic win. Man, I don't know. We'll just have to. This is just going to be an ugly losing streak because we play the Pistons. I think it's just going to be a game where we just get caught off guard. Grizzlies are actually good. Suns are actually good. 76ers actually dominate us. I don't think Joel Embiid's going to average a 37 that he normally does. We have Mark Williams, but Mark Williams only this second-year player. Then the Magic, I have us beating them like so many times, I think, throughout this season so far. It is only bound at some point we're going to take an L. It just seems like this might be the worst part of the L. All right, so now we're going against the Hawks again on the road. I have us beating oh, my God, it just gets worse. So, see, this is why. This is an ugly losing streak here. But we got away and home against the now call me crazy, but I'm going to do it. Cavs are a good team. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. Great team. Good team. I know. But the home, the 1-1, I think we can do it. I think it makes sense. I think we can win this. I think we can win both those games going against the Cavaliers. I think they're going to think they have bigger fish to fry, catch them off guard here. We're at home. We're fighting for something. I think we catch them again here. The Warriors, I had us losing against the Warriors earlier when we were on the road. They came to Charlotte. We know Steph Curry likes to show up. But Dennis Smith Jr., we don't have him this year, but he did a good job on Steph last year to help us win that game. Was it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was last year. Yeah, it had to be last year because Dennis Smith Jr. Don't do it. We got to win the game. Yes, I had to. Against the Warriors? Come on. We usually give them a run for their money when they come to Charlotte. Steph does do Steph, but we usually give them a run for their money. They don't have anybody to score like that outside of Curry. I mean, they have Clay and Andrew Wiggins. But what I'm saying is if something were, for whatever reason, those guys aren't hitting, those guys aren't playing, they don't have that Jordan Poole to come off the bench and light us up like teams usually do, where there's always that one guy off every team's bench that lights us up. I think we can win that game. I think that's a very possible game we can win. Clippers, at this point, I think the Clippers are going to be having their full team. Unlike I said earlier, when I had us winning, I said they probably wouldn't have their full team. They're at this point, I think they're gearing up for the playoffs. As you see, we're 72 games in. I think the Clippers are going to be ready to roll at that point. So I think Ty Lue going to have them boys ready, and we're just going to lose that. The Celtics again on a Monday. I know earlier we talked about it. What we say, they were like, "Oh, we lose against the Celtics." I had us winning. That was an important one. Season has done passed. We proved our point early in the season. The Celtics usually whoop us. So this probably won't be any different. But like I said earlier, the first game we played against them on a Monday, it was a point to prove. This game, reality sets in. I don't think we're going to win. What's up, Coach? What's up, Coach? Thank you for joining the stream. What's up? But yeah, Celtics. I think they're going to win. It's just we don't have the talent to beat them. Trailblazers, confident in that we're going to win. And in that Magic game, that's all under that. I think we're going to win as well. So W, and then I said Magic, a W. We're coming down to the wire where these games matter. OKC, I had us winning the first time. I'll just put OKC just so we'll match because that's what I had earlier. L, I had us. You know what? If anything, I would just go back and change. Where'd it go? I'll change this one to an L and change this one to a W, just because that makes more sense. Because this was the home game, the previous one was the away game. But then now we're getting to the end of the season. So at the end of the season, we played the Mavericks, Hawks, Celtics, and Cavs. Ooh. Mavs, I think that's going to be a loss. Mavs are fighting for the playoff spot. I mean, so are we, but the Mavs overall are the better team because of it's going to be Kyrie, Luka fighting for something. I think didn't the Mavs get in trouble for what they did last year? They're not going to do it again. Even if they're close, they're going to play their guys. I think that trips us up. The Hawks. Oh man, this will be an ugly game to lose. But I have us beating the Hawks 2 times, and then losing 1 time. And the Hawks aren't a bad team. I have them kind of in the same tier as us. But the timing of this loss would be huge. And so it makes me want to put a win. But that kind of would be unfair. That kind of would be unfair to think that. To be like, oh, well, we need to win this game. But that's what we're here for, right? We're here for Hornets bias. We're here for Hornets bias. I'm going to say we win. It's too crucial not to win based on the way we have done this whole win-loss thing. It's too crucial. The Hornets will need to step it up at that point. And then honestly, the Celtics, again, we win. I know. Crazy. Hear me out. Am I missing a game? I'm missing some games. I suck. I'll figure it out. But I think I'm missing 2 games. Anyway, we'll go back and check. I say the Celtics, we beat them. I don't think the Celtics. I just don't think the Celtics will have everybody playing at this point. At this point, they're the 1, they're the 2. I don't foresee them being anything under 1 or 2, maybe 3. That's if some injuries. Because we know the Celtics, no matter who their coach is, whether it's no, but listen, I'm saying they're going to be sitting their players. I don't think that this is we're playing a full Celtics team. They're going to be sitting their players. Because they're at this point they done solidified the 1 or 2 seed. I don't think that there's going to be they're playing Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They're not going to be playing. That's why I have us winning that game. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cavs, I have us losing. Now I got to figure out what 2 games did I miss. So, you know what? I'm too lazy. So we'll do this. We'll just split whatever these 2 games that I missed. I don't care who they are. We're just going to say 1, and we're going to say loss. Fair? I think that evens it out. Because I missed 2 games, but I don't know what 2 games I missed. Looking down here. I think I got too excited, probably running my mouth too much. But I missed 2 games. Magic, Celtics, Lakers, Clippers. I feel like I got all of them. It was probably an early game that I missed. But, all right, it sounds like we're good. So this is it. We'll just put team because that blank spot is bothering me. Now, see, this is where like the data nerd in me. Yeah, I just got to clean that up. It was gonna bother me. All right. So this is what we had. There's a lot of red in here, but there's also a lot of green. So I'm going to add this up and see what we have. There's got to be an easy way to do this, right? Equals can I do like C? Oh crap. C. There's a way I can do this. Hold on. I don't want to count. I want to do like a. I don't want to do formatting either. Can you hold on? What if I did this? Equals count. Count. Let's do this. Yeah, just count it for me. Yeah. We'll do that. So we're gonna count all the losses first. There's probably an easy way to do this with a formula. I'm just too lazy to kind of sit here and figure it out. If I was by myself and not on stream, I would probably stream it. I mean, I would probably just sit here and try to figure out the formula for this to actually count this up. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to embarrass myself. And plus, also, we're live. I got to keep talking. I can't just let the silence. That would be bad. That would be bad broadcasting. So, okay, so we lose that. Oh my God, I'm scared to look. It didn't even work. All right, I'm going to count myself. I messed it up. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? We'll do it like this. We'll count the wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Oh my God. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. I was going 42 and 40. Oh, man. So what's crazy is 42 and 40 is not bad. Oh, man. But it's like I'm almost bummed out. But see, if you think about it, I gave us some wins that we weren't supposed to have. But then I gave us losses for a lot of like up in the air games because we are the Hornets. We just lose. We lose games like that. So 42 and 40 is just not bad. But see, like this killed us. This killed us, and then that road trip killed us. I can't find it. That road trip where we go to LA. I can't find it. But yeah, that killed us, and then that road trip to LA killed us earlier in the season. This right here. Losing these games. 42 and 40 is not bad, but I don't think it's where I want to be. 42 and 40 is realistic, right? It's probably the most realistic we can be. That if the season ended and we were 42 and 40, I can't really be mad. Anything other than that's extra, right? But looking at the scale, it just seemed like, because unfortunately for our team, I'll tell you this. I know I said the Pistons would catch us slipping. And then I think also at this point, we beat we're not losing. I can tell you this. We're not losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not losing 6 games in a row. We're not. There's no way we're losing 6 games in a row. I'm giving us a W here. I don't know what team, though. I'll say the Suns. What is that? Is that a home game? That is a home game. I'll say the Suns. Because just because we have trap games doesn't mean other teams don't have trap games as well. We can be the trap game for some teams. And I wanted to. I wish I could click the Pistons and it would show us. All right, take me exactly to their schedule at this point in the season, but it won't. I'll have to siphon through that, and I'll have to do that for everybody. So it would take too long. But I will say the one thing I will say that's flawed in this experiment is that I didn't take in consideration how we could be the trap. I thought about all our trap games. Like I had a couple Raptors games, couple Pistons games, Magic games that we lose, a couple other games that we shouldn't have lost that we lose just because they're in between us playing big teams or they're just on a road trip. But I didn't do that for every other team. So I would say if I had to go back and change kind of how I did this, I would understand the schedule for every team and see how where do we fit in. Because like for example, if the Grizzlies just played the Lakers, Nuggets, Suns, Kings, Mavs, and then they go on the road to play us, that's a game we can win. And so that changed this L to a W, you know? So after changing that one game, how about just for the sake, I'll just turn that to an L again. Actually, no, I'll keep it a W because, like I said, there's no way we're losing 6 games. I don't care who we're playing. I still think we're going to lose a game against the Pistons because based on where that was in the schedule, that's a game that we may struggle with. But yeah, 10 seed again. Yeah, if we end up 43-39 roughly, because that's kind of where I have us, we're not winning. We're not being a 10 seed. I don't think 43-39 gets you to 10 seed this year. I think it's going to be a little tougher because all those bottom teams are better now. Every single one of them, including us. All those bottom teams are better. The Raptors actually to me got worse, but so the Raptors got worse. Bulls are kind of the same, but I think us completely healthy. We're on the same tier as the Bulls. I think we're on the same tier as the Hawks. Who else? The Nets. I think we're on the same tier as the Magic. Are like maybe on the tier under us, but they're projected to be better. I say they're just because of how young they are. They have so much talent in that team. Now they don't know where all the talent fits, as opposed to us. In that case, compared to the Magic, we're top heavy. It's LaMelo, Mark, Terry, Miles. Maybe you can throw PJ in there. As opposed to they got Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr. Who else is on that team? Anthony Black now, Markelle Fultz, Mo Wagner, who is just a tough player to play. It seems like he gets a lot of players frustrated. So they just have guys. Like they just have guys. Jalen Suggs is another one. Jonathan Isaac. Like they just have guys. We don't have that. We don't have that luxury of just having guys. What up, Doughboy? If you missed it, we went. I have us going 43-39 roughly. But like I said, the flawed part of my experiment was that I didn't think of how we could be trap games for teams. I calculated how, they're playing as Pistons on a Wednesday night after playing the Nets on the road and, all that. That could be a trap game. I didn't think of how we could be trap games for other teams. So if I could go back, I would change it. I would know the schedule of everybody, but that would take too much effort. I'm not saying, did I say Mackill Fultz or that was a misspelling? I don't know. Either way, Fultz isn't bad. Like Fultz, what I'm saying is just they have guys. They have guys to where you don't know what's their night. We don't have that luxury. We do not have that luxury. If we want to win, our offense, our game has to come from Melo, Miles, Mark, Rozier. They have anybody. They have so many people that can show up and win them a game. This roster has the potential to be more talented than the 1-2 years ago, but there's just so much that could. Yeah, there is a lot that could go wrong. You're replacing Kelly Oubre, who I don't know how you feel about Kelly Oubre, but I thought he was decent. He was a shot chucker for sure, but there was times he literally won us games. I remember, was it 3 years ago at this point? One of his seasons here, the whole team had COVID, and Kelly Oubre was like the savior for the team during that time. He kept us like afloat. So you're replacing that with Brandon Miller. Does that correlate? Does Brandon Miller project to be the better player for sure? But as far as you're expecting a rookie to kind of do what Kelly Oubre was doing, which was at times putting the team on his back, that's just not going to happen. Magic, I don't think that. Why does everybody think the Magic stink? Well, you're a Heat fan, right? So that might make sense. But the Magic aren't that bad. Okay. I'm not saying they're this playoff team. Yeah, I'd rather have Kelly than Hayward too, because Hayward is not going to win us the game. Hayward can prevent us from losing. He's not going to win the game. Kelly Oubre, it's a little different. He can lose us a game as well, but he can also win us a game. So it just depends on what you're willing to deal with. And I'd rather deal with someone who, even though they can lose us games, he can also win us a game. Gordon Hayward's not going to lose you a game. Well, actually, Gordon Hayward can lose you a game, but I don't think he can win you a game. Because if Gordon Hayward just doesn't do anything, that's it. I mean, you're paying him way too much money. No, I think Hayward is better. I just don't think at this point in his career he can win you a game. That's kind of just my point. Yes, if Hayward can stay healthy, I think that's very important. I think Hayward can be an X factor for this team. We saw that last year was probably his most healthy. His last year was technically his most healthy year with the team. He just didn't play that well. But Hayward, I think Hayward, Oubre can lose us a game. Hayward can do a little bit of it. Yeah, that's exactly my point. I think Hayward is just good. Like he's a good, solid player when he's healthy. I think he'll be able to. He can help you not lose a game. I just think Kelly Oubre, and it depends on what you're willing to deal with, can win you a game. If everybody else is shooting like crap, Kelly Oubre can be the guy to light up 30. But he also can be the same guy to lose you that same game because he can't hit nothing. He can't hit anything. He's 0 for 10 from 3. As opposed to Gordon Hayward, if he doesn't show up, I think that impacts the team negatively. But I don't think there's anything he can do to take over and win the game. I think that's my only point. But as far as like, do I think Gordon Hayward's like important for the team? For sure, 100%. Clifford just needs to realize he can't run Hayward to the ground. Yeah, for sure. And that's why I've pitched the idea that maybe Gordon Hayward comes off the bench, but not. And people thought I meant saying he was bad or he doesn't deserve to be a starter or why would you start a rookie over Gordon Hayward? It's not that. I personally was just thinking it would allow him to be more healthy. Because in the reality of it, in the NBA, especially today, especially to where this team wants to be, it does not matter who's that starting 5. What matters is who you in the game with. So if you start Brandon Miller, which wouldn't be too crazy, he's the 2nd overall pick for a reason, allegedly, for the Hornets. It wouldn't be crazy to end the game with Gordon Hayward. So you start Brandon Miller, have him play however many minutes, and then when it comes down to closing the game, you're in a tight game against the Bucks on a Tuesday. I think I would rather have Gordon Hayward in, even though Brandon Miller started. But Gordon Hayward at this point in this game, this hypothetical game, only played 18 to 23 minutes as of now. And there's 4 minutes left in the game. So now he ends up with 27, 28 minutes. That's kind of where I think Gordon Hayward would really be beneficial is if he came off the bench. However, people are so up in it. They would be so upset because why are you starting a rookie over Gordon Hayward? Or even I don't even understand the argument of people saying, why would you bring $31 million off the bench? Like, yes, he is a bench player. He's probably best as the bench role, but you're paying him $30 million. He should start. So I get the argument, but I think you should start Brandon Miller or whoever. It doesn't necessarily have to be Brandon Miller. At the top of my head, that's just who I'm thinking. You start Brandon Miller at the 3 and then have Gordon Hayward come off the bench. Yeah, and that's a good point. It doesn't have to be all the way through the season either. He doesn't have to be on the bench from the get-go. I would even be okay with you start the season with Brandon Miller. You go through a few of the games. You go through, 20, 25 games. Then maybe you start Gordon Hayward or something. There's something that needs to be done to keep him healthy. That's all. That's the whole point. I don't care how you do it, but there's something needs to be done to keep Gordon Hayward healthy because I'll tell you this, even if we make the playoffs, Gordon Hayward not being healthy, we might as well just get swept. I think that he's that important as far as keeping the team together. Yes, talent-wise, we have what it takes to maybe win a game or two, depending on who we play. But as far as any fighting chance or any real chance to, hold on to those close games and close out a close game, we need Gordon Hayward to do that. Magic couldn't beat Vincent or Martin. That's just not true. But yeah, I don't know. It's just Gordon Hayward is very interesting. I personally would have him come off the bench, but that's only because to keep him healthy. It has nothing to do with how good he is or the money. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's just what can we do to keep him healthy because we're going to need him. If this team is going to make the playoffs like they intend on some way, somehow, you need Gordon Hayward. Or you need a player like him. And as of right now, Gordon Hayward's the only player like that. His problem is health. I don't even think it's production on the floor, it's health. How do you keep him healthy? Use those bodies you have. Use Bryce McGowan, use Brandon Miller to take away some of those minutes. So that therefore at the end of the season, let's say at the beginning of the season he averages 20 minutes, but now towards the end of the season, getting him suited up for the playoffs, he's averaging 28, 30 minutes a game. Well, that's because he played so little in the beginning. It shouldn't be controversial. I think people just get upset because the option I provided was Brandon Miller, and he's a rookie. I think that was it. If I would have said someone else, they probably wouldn't have cared. But I personally don't know who else it would be. I personally don't know. I personally don't know who. What was my train of thought? Oh, I personally don't know who would replace Gordon Hayward. So that's the iffy part. So I believe Gordon Hayward should come off the bench? Yes. But who replaces him in the lineup? I don't know. Um, yeah, that's just how I see it. Yeah, and that's probably the most likely scenario is Miles at the three, PJ at the four. It just depends on one if we have PJ. Two, how does Steve Clifford see Miles? I want to say Borrego saw Miles as a four, only because most fours are unable to do what Miles does. So it's really hard for them to stay in front of him. It's really hard for them to keep up with him. So he's really just a walking mismatch at the four at times. The issue with that is I just don't know if that's his true position. Because you put him at the three, you take away his ability to outplay fours, his ability to be a mismatch for fours. But at the same time, it allows you to have a better cohesive lineup. So that's something Steve Clifford's going to have to come up with. Do you want the more cohesive lineup where you have good players all throughout your starting five with LaMelo, Terry, Miles, PJ, Mark? Or do you take out PJ, embrace Miles being a mismatch at four, but yet you have a rookie be at three or inexperienced player? Let's just say that. It doesn't have to be a rookie. Yeah, and I like Miles at the four. I think he's best at the four. However, I'm just not I'm not going to argue having him at the three because, like I said, if you have Miles at the three, then PJ could be at the four. Then that's your overall talent wise. That's your best lineup. As far as who are the five best players right now, it's Melo, Terry, Miles, PJ, Mark. And PJ, yeah, I think PJ is a perfect fit. PJ or Miles, I mean, it doesn't matter. I think considering we have Miles on the team, I think Miles is probably a better fit. But as far as overall, like not thinking about the other components of the lineup, PJ is the perfect four next to Mark for sure. I hope PJ comes back, man. I'm a big PJ believer. I know y'all have seen the videos of me talking about PJ. I think PJ is a really good player. I just don't think he's worth the 20. So I'm not willing to pay him $20 million considering we still don't know if we have our team. So if we had Miles locked up, we had Melo, which we do locked up. We have a better shooting guard, and we were seeing how good Brandon Miller is. Then I'm more willing to spend $20 million on a better role player, would be PJ. But considering the only for sure things we have is how good Melo is, Mark technically, I believe in him, but it's still only his second year. We don't know what Brandon Miller is going to be yet, and we don't have Miles locked up to a long-term deal. It makes it really hard to give PJ 20 in that scenario. Yes, because it depends how clever you use Miles. Miles was a decent creator. Yeah, PJ. I mean, Miles will be at the three for sure. If because Clifford do tend to like bigger lineups. I don't think we'll see it this season, but a lineup of yeah, on paper, yes, Melo, Miller, Miles, PJ, Mark. I think that would be a really, really good fit. My worry with that. Actually, never mind. I take it back because I was gonna say we saw Brandon Miller in the not G League, the Summer League guard like twos, and it just did not. It did not look good. They were a little too fast for him, but Miles, I think, can do it, and then you just have Miller guard the threes, and then call it a day. And then he will be a mismatch for twos on offense. So it actually doesn't matter that much because basketball is positionless anyway at this point. But I don't know. I'm intrigued. I know I had us going 43-39 again, 42-40 really, but we'll say 43-39. But I'm excited for the season regardless. There's going to be some losses that we just lose because we're the Hornets. We just do stupid stuff and it causes us to lose. But I think this team's also going to surprise us with a lot of good wins. So I really wouldn't be. I would be surprised if we're anything under 42-40. Honestly, if there's no injury, everybody's healthy for the most part. As far as basketball healthy, anything under 42-40, I'll be surprised. I'll say 41-41 actually. Let's just say 500. Anything under 500, I'll be surprised with. But anything over 43 wins, I wouldn't be surprised. I could see us doing at max 48 wins. The issue is the 43-39 may not get us in the playoffs. We may be like the ninth seed. So that's the only problem with that. Martin, one of my favorites. Thanks for a great play. No, you got to think J. Cole. Allegedly, they said J. Cole was the one that set that up. So that's who you need to think. And if J. Cole has that kind of pull with him being a partial owner of the Hornets, hey, look, that might mean something. Not much. Caleb Martin is not a star-studded name to bring, but if players are listening to J. Cole, hey, he might get us some good quality bench pieces. Maybe isn't the Vegas over under at 31? Yeah, for sure. And maybe I gotta look at like how YouTube handles gambling or something. But maybe we should look into that as a team together on stream. We should look at doing the over under for the Hornets because yes, I just checked recently. In fact, let me pull it up on my iPad. I had it because I'm actually playing a video talking about the Hornets over under. Let's see. Can I find it? I have so much crap, so many ideas. That I don't know where it's at. Oh, 28th. Let's see. I have so many. Where is it? I know I did it. Is it not on here? Let me keep looking. Trust the Buzz. Scripts. I started scripting my videos. Well, not scripted. Actually, they're not scripted at all. But I at least write down what I want to talk about instead of get on there and ramble. Oh, I was doing it for the podcast, for the Trust the Buzz podcast. So if you don't know, Believe Podcast Network has brought me on to handle their Hornet stuff. So I'm the Trust the Buzz podcast. I post the episodes on here, but it would really help me if you go listen to it on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Look up Trust the Buzz podcast. I think there will be two, but click the one that has the nice graphic that says like Trust the Buzz podcast and it's from Believe. Click that one. I need to take mine down. But yeah, okay, I have it. They have the Hornets at 31. Yeah, it's 31. DraftKings has it at 31.5. Caesars has it at 30.5, and FanDuel has it at 30.5. Last time I checked, it doesn't have a date on here last time I checked, but like it was like earlier this week. That was the over under for the Charlotte Hornets. And then teams like the Magic was at 36.5, Raptors at 36.5, Pacers at 37.5, Nets at 36.5, and Bulls at 36.5. So the Hornets were better, for sure, better than that. What are we talking about here? I just hope this team gets a win with the play-in tournament. Whether they end up making it. Yeah, I think if we make the play-in, win one, and then lose one, but it's a close loss, like down to the wire, that's a step in the right direction. If we win one and then just get blown out, even though it's not blown out the first time, we're still where we're at. So, yes, I agree. If we can just win and then barely lose, I'll take that as a step in the right direction. Let's see. No, there was one article from Bleacher. 20 and 62 is malpractice. Bleacher Report. I hope y'all bring me on one day. No, but Bleacher Report is. Oh man, sometimes some of the articles there are lazy. That's what I'll say. It's lazy. I don't discuss. I just have a few notes. Yeah, and I don't either. I don't do well at scripts. because what I'll try to do is read it and it just doesn't sound like me. But up until the draft, this past draft where we got Brandon Miller, I was just turning on the camera and just going. Like I had an idea and I would just go. And I don't include too many edits because I felt like people liked the raw of my video. I edit stuff like, of course, I would put like clips and stuff, but I wouldn't like edit and segment it out and all that stuff. I would just talk, and I felt like people appreciated that. But recently, I started actually taking notes. Well, I would take notes and just remember them, but I actually started like taking notes and then post like having it with me as I'm recording. It's helped a lot, at least to keep me on track. Smashing that over everyone. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, QC. Thank you for sure. Smash that like button. The way we're going to smash this over. That I'm going to do that. We're going to go on stream and I'm going to find how to do it, or maybe I'll just do it and tell y'all because I don't want to do it on stream because all that like I think it was last year like YouTube, Twitch they had a really problem with people gambling on stream and it was like causing a lot of issues. Not doing that. I might just do it on my own time and we can talk. We can come on here and talk about it. But yes, the over should be destroyed because 31 is ridiculous. We won 27 last year, missing everyone. Yeah, 100 easily. Ease that might be the easiest money you make for real if you bet the over. This is not financial advice. I don't know if I have to say that, but it's not financial advice. But the Charlotte Hornets being at 31 is ridiculous. 31 and a half at least. But all right. I've been here for 2 hours. Thank you for everyone that has joined. Thank you for everyone for sitting through this stream. Let me know if I should do this more often. I will try. I will try to do something similar to the games. Like when the season comes around, I'll try to stream games. Most of the time I watch it with my wife. We should make a group chat. We can get on that. We can get on that. Move on Tyron Street. That would be hilarious. Yes, yes, exactly. But yeah, I will continue doing these. Just let me know if that's what y'all want to see. It was great hanging out with y'all. We've been here for 2 hours. I did not expect this to be like this, but I had a lot of fun. Uh, Make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're new. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like on the stream to help support the Charlotte. Well, should support me. Hopefully, one day I get seen by the Charlotte Hornets. They're like, I like this guy's content. Bring me on. Hopefully that happens. I would love to work for the team, work with the team, work in their media department, whatever the case may be. Um, but yeah, I'll plan another stream. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out for special occasions to stream. But for sure, thank you once again. Thank you so much for watching. When you make another, we need to. Me and Terry talked, and essentially we were like, yeah, we'll just do our own thing, kind of like during the off season because it's just so dry, especially for us. Like the off season, I feel like this off season was kind of dry anyway, and then the Hornets just being the Hornets, it was really dry. But next season, you can expect us to do a lot more content together for sure. So me and Terry from Buzz Boys will be doing a lot more content together. But thank you so much for watching. I know I keep saying it, but I really am grateful. I keep saying that I'm going to eventually record a video or go a live stream about how much this channel means to me. But now's not the time. I've already been taught 2 hours. But thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining the stream. Follow me on Twitter at TruzzBuzz, TruzzBuzz. Everybody who already follows me on there knows that we just talk hoops all day. So go ahead and get on there and we'll just talk hoops and whatever else you want to talk about. I'm more active on there. It's just easier to respond to everybody on there as it is to YouTube comments. But once again, thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.